May I most humbly adopt the protocols ably laid by my wonderful and amazing Egon, Professor Ogunye. And that reminds me of what the late Professor Oluwole said. He said in Nigeria we like protocols, but there was a time he was called upon to adopt all the protocols that had been put forth before he mounted the rostrum. And instead of him just saying, he said, I prostrate on the protocols. Now, please permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize, in addition to the names that have earlier been mentioned, two of my eminent colleagues who are here, and their friends, Chief Mrs. Sena Anthony and Mrs. Funke Adekoya, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Also, Mrs. Tony Okewo. Tony is my friend, is my brother, is my confidant. We share a lot of things in common. And coincidentally, he took over from me as the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council of the university owned by our church, Ajayi Crowther University. Having said that, may I also thank the organizers of this program for conscripting me to come and chair the occasion. And to my sister, Dr. Mrs. Adadebo, you have so much harassed me in and out of season, even up till early this morning. She will not take no for an answer, and even when you say yes, she will still want you to qualify the yes. But here we are, we thank God, and we thank God for this day. And I want to say it's the day the Lord has made. I got wind of this event first through the Pro-Chancellor of Olamide University. I think I had something doing. I was to deliver a lecture there. I think your convocation lecture. He whispered to me that I would be coming here today. I said, let me look at my diary. Then later on, we had a function at the University of Lagos. And Professor Ogunye said, Wole, I'm not asking you to make a choice. I'm directing you to be here today. And the Yorubas will say, Ọba ń pè é, oní kan ṣe, oní ọba odò ọba olóògbọ̀nà. Iṣẹ́ ọba ò ṣe é kọ̀, odò ọba àdẹ̀rẹ̀ kò ṣe é dá kọjá. I am here not because of the two of them, but again, we say we are honoring our late hero, a legend, by my own estimation and humble conclusion. We honor people in different ways. We honor them in our psyche, in our consciousness, in our subconsciousness. I knew the late legend is still living in our hearts without meeting him. And how do I mean? What do I mean? I was a beneficiary, or one of the beneficiaries of the pre-primary education in the Old Western region. I benefited from the scheme in the late 50s through to the early 60s. And in my own way, I would say I'm one of his mentees standing before you this afternoon. There is nothing too much we can do for this gentleman, who to me was a trailblazer, he was a pioneer, he was a leader, he was a shepherd, an educationist, an administrator, and every other good thing combined together. It was in July 1952, he as the Minister of Education, records don't lie, and those of us who are in the legal profession, we believe so much in records, and records speak for themselves. You can't use parole evidence to vary what is already encapsulated in the document. Records have it that he presented a manuscript for free education, and which was adopted by the government, headed by Chief Awolowo. And the Professor Bas Fafunwa once described in his book, he said the book titled Education in Africa, a Comparative Survey, described that scheme as the boldest and perhaps the most unprecedented educational scheme in Africa. I concur. And I've been asked to speak, to say a word or two about science, education, pathway to getting the country on the right track. I'm not a scientist. The last I offered in the science subjects, I think, were chemistry and biology at school certificate level in 1969. I still remember Boyle's law, Charles' law, and what I feel. I can't say more than that. So I would just say that I adopt what my uncle has said, and I have nothing to add except what is contained in paragraph 4.1 of what the pamphlet with you. And we talk about the evolution of digital literacy and artificial intelligence. The little I can gather on the internet, I've also scribbled. Is there in paragraphs 5.1, 5.2. Then getting the country on the right track. I doubt if I will be here standing before you today without education. And I doubt if all of us who are here gathered in this hall today will be here without education. Let me further illustrate the above thesis with the life and times of Chief Oluwole Awokoya. To my mind, his was a life dedicated to service of humanity, undiluted love and passion for education, born in desire to raise disciples who will man the future, and most of us here this afternoon constitute a fraction of those disciples, and a stern and godly resolve to lead the world a better place than we met it. I think a few months ago, we were having a meeting of some lawyers and some clients in London, precisely. And a gentleman from, I think from Delta State, he just picked up the topic about this scheme, the universal primary scheme in the old Western region. And they mentioned the name of Chief S.O. Awokoya, mentioned Oluwole, mentioned Stephen. He wasn't looking to any people. I said, did you know him? He said, yes, I met with him. And I asked him, how did you meet him? He was from the Midwestern part of the old Western region and was talking so glowingly about him. Then I became so inquisitive. How did you meet him? He said he was in secondary school, Form 1, in a secondary school in Port Harcourt. He was so miserable. He couldn't pay his fees, but brilliant. He was to be sent out of school. Then he was so audacious in his thinking that I'm from the Western region. There is free everything there in relation to education. Why wouldn't I write the Minister of Education? According to him, he scribbled some notes on lines, addressed it to Stephen Oluwole Awokoya, Minister of Education. Young man, perhaps at that time maybe he would be 12 or 13. He said, I am from the Western region. I'm stranded financially about being sent out of school. It is the same song, the chorus, and even the doxology in the Old West that the education is free. what do you do for me? How do you pay me out? He said to his surprise, Stephen Oluwole Awokoya replied his letter the following week. We give testimonies of what we saw, of what we witnessed, of what we heard as well. Like Apostle Peter will say, we bear testimony of the Lord Jesus Christ, who were with him on the mount. We saw him performing miracles, lifting up the crippled, opening the eyes of those who are blind. This man from Midwest then, now from Medo or Delta, was giving testimony of this man. He traveled to Ibadan. He met with him, and the man told me, I'm taking your letter to the premier of the Old Western region, Chief of Oluwole. He's asked me to write you that you are giving a scholarship. And the man was praying for him, even in his grief. And the man was saying, may God bless his soul. And he was at the same time saying, may God continue to bless the legendary soul of Chief Oluwole. So what are we talking about honor? To the man, he is honored forever. To me, he is honored forever. I would say when at times, national honors or whatever honors, they might be accolades. But these are honors that are sincere, that are genuine. Honors from the heart. And it is written that out of the mouth of babes and sucklings, God has ordained the strength. So this man, he was a babe then. And he was honoring him, he was praying for him. So you said that nobody has honored him. I don't agree with you, sir. We honor him. I honor him. I pray for him. I salute him. I appreciate him. And for everything he stood for. And at times you don't even do smart things for ladies. But who have done well. He's done wonderfully and amazingly well. I'm always fascinated by the inscription on the headstone of Niccolo Machiavelli. You all know, it's done in the Church of Santa Grace in Florence, Italy, reading Tanto Nomini Nullum Pa Elogium. That's their language. The translation of which is, of this great man, no praise is adequate. This inspiring wordings aptly describe the work and relevance of Chief Awokoya. Even several years after his dawn, he still is triumphant. The indelible work marks an impulse. The edge on humanity cannot be wiped out by the torrents of time. It continues to live in our memory. And to my sister, you are chiefs and members of the board of trustees, including my Ebon. I will say that party, yes, you are my senior brother, the Olurogun, the chief, the high chief. I don't know how to, I was asking you when I came in, how do I greet you, sir? Do I prostrate only the ballet and cover? But I think about that over. Looking the ballet. You are chiefs of the whole block. I congratulate you all for keeping the flag flying, not at half-mast, but in its full-fledged manner. To the proud devotees and beneficiaries of today, I send hearty congratulations to you, but not without a word of admonition, borrowing from what the Lord Jesus Christ told his listeners after the parable of the Good Samaritan. And again, I'm borrowing also from what we all listened to at the University of Lagos at the last outing where we met with Peter. And to the audience, I say, quoting from what the Lord Jesus said, go and do likewise. Meaning that when you get to your kingdoms, behave like Stephen Oluwole Awokoya, who, to me, was very altruistic, and to me up to today is very indomitable. It's iconic by every definition of that word, very progressive, humane, God-fearing, and I want to believe that his elegant soul is resting in perpetuity in the bosom of the Lord. I welcome you.